This video covers everything we did in class today on Monday, December 6th. The first thing you have is the do now, so go ahead and open up Classkick, pause this video, and answer questions 1 through 5. You should have tried questions 1 through 5 on your own. Let's go through them. What is 50% of 20? We can think about percentages on a number line. That's how we've learned them so far. So if we consider the number 20 being 100%, and we know that 20 is equivalent to 100% because it tells us that we're finding the percentage of 20, we know that half of 100% is 50% and half of 20 is 10. And so 50% of 20 is simply 10. If I split my double number line into 4 groups where I'm counting by 25%, I also need to split 20 into 4 groups. And so I know each 25% is equal to 5. And so 25% of 20 is 5. Now, I can recreate this number line to answer question 3, 4, and 5. I know that this time my 100% is 10 instead of 20 because it says what is 50% of 10, 25% of 10, and 150% of 10. So I'm going to adjust my number line. This time, my 100% will be 10. Again, I'm splitting up 100% into 4 groups. Each group has 25%. And if I split 10 up into 4 groups, each group has 2.5. And so I know that 50% is 5. I know that 25% is 2.5. And I could extend my double number line in order to find 150%. It would look something like this. After 100 would come 125%, because in the percent number line, I'm counting by 25%. Then I would have 12.5, because I'm counting by 2.5 on the high number line. 150% is equal to 15. The other way you might have figured out question 5 is that you know 50% is 5 and 100% is 10. And so altogether, 150% is equal to 15. Today's foundational learning target is I can calculate the percent, whole, or part when given the other two. And we actually spent all of class today working on that learning target. Today's a foundations review day before we proceed with the next few lessons in our unit. So we're going to take some guided notes. To follow along with these notes, you need to be on slide 3 of Classkick. So again, this is slide 3. Pause this video and join me when you're on slide 3 of Classkick because I'm going to be checking for your guided notes. So the first thing we talked about was the relationship between the part, the whole, and the percent. In any real world situation, I can divide my parts divided by my whole, multiply by 100, and I have my percent. Let's do an example in the table. If you answer 15 out of 25 questions correctly on the test, what is your grade in terms of percent? Well, I know my part is 15. It's 15 out of 20. I'm going to divide 15 by 20 and then multiply by 100. 15 divided by 20 will give me 0.75. I'll multiply that times 100. And my final answer is 75%. So again, all I did here was the part divided by the whole. I multiplied by 100, and now I have the percent. I want you to pause this video and repeat those steps with the next 3 boxes. In the last box, you're going to create your own situation where you can calculate the percent. So again, pause the video and complete the rest of the table. Okay, you should have completed the rest of the table on slide 3. Let's take a look at slide 4. Another situation we can encounter is when we know a percent and we know the whole, we need to find the part. For example, You scored 70% on a test, and there were 30 questions. How many did you answer correctly? We've got a formula for that as well. In this case, we can say that the percentage, whatever it is, divided by 100 times the whole is equal to the missing part. Let's look at the first box as an example. The total number of questions in the test is 30. If I multiply 30 times 70 over 100, I'll know how many questions I got correct. 30 times 0.7, because that's 70 divided by 100, gives me a final answer of 21. And so I know that I have 21 questions correct on that test. And again, all I've done is follow the formula. Whole, my whole was 30, times my percent over 100 gives me my part, the number of questions I answered correctly. Go ahead and pause this video and answer the rest of this table. Okay, you should have filled out the rest of the table on your own. Let's summarize. A percentage is just a rate per 100, and that's the key takeaway today in terms of how we'll use percent moving forward. A percentage is a rate per 100. Now, I know that whenever I have a percentage, if I divide it by 100, it is equal to my parts divided by my whole. And another way to think about this is a percentage is just a ratio. Percentage to 100 is always an equivalent ratio to part to whole. And so if you know 2 out of 3 of these 3 pieces of information, percentage, part, and whole, you can calculate the missing value by simply completing the equivalent ratio. When you finish watching this video, your next step is to head to Freckle. That's where today's independent practice is posted. As always, if you have any questions, please make sure that you send me an email. I'll also post the notes from today's class in the main folder so that you can check your work to each of these problems.